The story kicks off when two boat operators get next to a cargo ship in the middle of a big river in Russia. The minute they meet, Valera tells them they gotta transport over a ton of caviar, which are fish eggs. Oleg was thrilled as soon as he heard that. He started trying to convince his partner to take the job. The old guy said no at first because he thought the boat couldn't handle the weight, but then he gave up and agreed to Oleg's plan. As soon as he got the job, Oleg was celebrating by eating a little bit of the fish eggs. But just a few minutes later, the boat broke down because of the heavy weight. Oleg tried hard to save it, but the whole load still sank in the river. Later, when the two of them met on the bank, the old guy was furious and started hitting Oleg because Oleg's greed had messed up his boat. He told Oleg, "You're gonna pay for the damage now." Then Oleg admitted he was wrong, took him to the parking lot, and was forced to give him his car. The next day, Oleg met his girlfriend Sveta, who worked at a bank. Oleg told her he'd have to get another loan, but Sveta said no bank was going to help him out now. Then Oleg told his girlfriend they should just steal the bank's money, but Sveta refused, saying that'd just make the problem worse. A little later, Oleg and his partner left the spot. Sveta saw that Oleg had a new car, but it was all messed up with dirt and pieces of fish. To help her boyfriend fix his problem, Sveta reminded him that her dad might be able to give him some cash. "Everyone's always telling him to sell the house anyway. You gotta talk him into it," she said. "Then whatever I get will be yours." But Oleg said no. He didn't want to stoop that low. With no other options left, they both went to Boris's house, who was fixing a toilet with his family. Oleg tried to talk to his future father-in-law alone. The minute he brought up selling the house, Boris got mad and started fighting with the whole family. Just then, big chunks of a meteorite started falling to the ground. While the family was fighting, a chunk landed on their house and hit Sveta's grandpa, making him fall over. Seeing this, everyone thought someone was shooting, and they all freaked out and ran outside. Outside, they saw meteorites falling in different spots. Then they remembered Grandpa had been hit too. They went to him and saw he was a little hurt but still alive. Boris checked it and said, "That's not a bullet, it's a meteorite." Hearing that, Oleg shouted, "Everybody start digging quick so we can sell the chunk and make some cash." Everyone dug for a bit together, but then they all got tired. But Oleg kept digging alone, and by morning, he dug out a huge chunk of meteorite. He thought about telling the family, but just then, Pavel called him over. Pavel said he was losing his strength. It felt like his time had come. Oleg said, "Hold on, I'm calling an ambulance." But Pavel stopped him and said, "I've seen everything in my life. I don't need anything else now." After that, the old man passed away right in front of him. Oleg went to tell Sveta, all stressed out, but Sveta ignored him and kept sleeping. Oleg didn't know that the meteorite had changed shape and was now a purple liquid. Oleg decided he'd wait till the whole family woke up. A little while later, he fell asleep too. Then Talik woke him up and said something was seriously wrong here. Talik asked, "Where's Sveta?" When Oleg looked at the bed, he found out his girlfriend was gone. He went downstairs with his father-in-law. Talik said a few minutes ago Boris accidentally spilled the liquid, and ever since then, weird things have been going on. Then Oleg saw Sasha, the youngest girl in the family, break an iron with her hands, like she had the strength of 100 elephants. A little later, Oleg saw Rita standing by the stair railing, and he figured something bad had happened to Sveta. He went to the bedroom. He heard Sveta's voice there, but he couldn't see her. He couldn't figure it out. But then he heard screaming from downstairs. Back downstairs, Oleg saw Boris trying to break down a room door. Rita was shouting loudly from inside. In a panic, Boris broke the door hard, and everyone saw Rita floating on the ceiling. She couldn't come down even if she wanted to. Everyone worked together to pull Rita to the dining room. There, they saw that half of Sveta's body was gone. Seeing this, the whole family started screaming. Just then, the old man who died, Pavel, came back like he was alive again, and Oleg panicked. In all the chaos, everyone forgot about Rita and let her go, and she flew out through a hole in the ceiling. She flew for a little distance in the air, but her power suddenly ran out, and she fell down. After that, Sveta became visible again, and Pavel fell to the ground again, like he died a second time. After saving Rita, the family sat together and thought maybe the meteorite had given them superpowers. Then they saw that Talik and Oleg didn't have any powers. They started trying to figure out why that happened. Meanwhile, Sveta called an ambulance. At that moment, Oleg saw that as soon as Sveta moved away from the family, everyone's powers vanished, and Pavel rolled over again. The family went to the hospital. The doctor checked him and said everyone looked perfectly normal. Oleg said, "Check the radiation levels in their bodies." But the doctor said, "Our radiation meter ain't working right." Then the doctor changed the subject and said, "Just take your vitamins and everything will be fine. Vitamins are everything." The family realized no one was going to believe them. They came back home and started living with their new superpowers. At dinner, everyone wondered why they got magical powers. Rita said they could use these powers to set up a super dangerous circus. Hearing that, Talik got mad and made fun of Rita. Rita attacked him, and the two siblings started fighting. Meanwhile, Sasha broke her grandpa's iron cane. Grandpa got mad and started chasing her. A little later, Talik fed his dogs and started talking smack about Rita's behavior. Then, one of his dogs barked loudly at him. After that, he realized he could understand every single thing the dogs were saying and figured out his superpower was being able to talk to animals. Now happy, Talik told the whole family about his new discovery. To find out what power the meteorite gave him, Oleg picked up a piece of iron from the ground and tried to bend it with his hands, but it wouldn't bend. And then he went back inside the house, embarrassed. In the morning, Oleg started waking up the rest of the family. But when he went to Pavel's room, he saw the old man hanging from a rope. But nothing happened to him. He was immortal now. He couldn't die no matter what. After that, he told Oleg, "Son, I ain't dying, but please get me down from the rope." Just then, Boris was sitting on the toilet, but suddenly he teleported outside. Then he came back to the bathroom, shocked and confused. When he tried to go to the toilet again, he teleported outside again, and the family was shocked, wondering how this was happening. Fed up with all the questions, Boris said, "I ain't gonna show you again. I gotta go to the bathroom. I can't go to the bathroom." Then he told his whole family to go with him to his favorite fishing spot, because it helped him clear his head. When they got there, Rita started flying over the lake with her power, and Talik was sitting next to a dog, explaining the videos on his phone to it. In the meantime, Oleg told Boris, "I got an idea. All our money problems will be over." But Boris wasn't paying attention. He was just busy training to teleport. Oleg explained, "We can use Sveta's disappearing power to steal about $3 million from the bank, so they'll have cash and can live life their own way." But after finishing his training, Boris said, "We ain't doing anything like that. This kind of stuff can get everyone in trouble." He said, "We'll just wait. When everything's okay, we'll go back to living a normal life." After this, Oleg walked away from the family in a huff. After he left, Pavel died again, and Rita fell into the water. Oleg got that everyone's powers would disappear if he and Sveta walked away. But Boris said, "I don't care about that. We'll just live a normal life." He told Oleg, "Don't cause any more trouble for the family, because they're already in a mess because of Oleg's mistakes." Tired of the argument, Oleg told Sveta to get in the car, and Sveta said, "While we're out, make sure to hide Grandpa's body." During the drive, Sveta said, "There's a problem with your plan. We're gonna get caught. Our lives could even be in danger." Just as they were leaving the area, some thugs stopped them and surrounded their car. A little while later, Valera came up and told Oleg to get in the car so they could talk. The thug threatened Oleg, "If you don't pay off the debt for all the caviar money that sank, I'll force you to go to China and sell you on the black market. Got it?" Hearing this, Oleg got really scared. He stood on the side of the road, wondering what to do now. Sveta had heard Valera too, so she hugged Oleg and said, "I'm gonna go through with the bank robbery plan. Don't worry, we'll make everything right." Then they sat down and worked out the whole robbery plan. Later, the whole family gathered in the living room, and they all decided to start the robbery plan now. After this, everyone decided they'd party all night, because they might get caught tomorrow and have to grind grain in prison. So a party was a must today. In the morning, Oleg made breakfast with Rita. Rita said, "I gotta do a play." Boris also pushed for it, so Oleg agreed. Then everyone went to a big theater where Rita gave her introduction. The head of the place saw her power and was shocked. After this, everyone in the family showed their powers one by one, and the man was completely blown away by seeing all this. Shocked, the head of the theater said, "I'll hire all of you." But hearing this, the group left, and Oleg threatened the man, saying, "No one was recording, right?" At night, Oleg felt something weird happening in his body. He went to the bathroom and saw his power was that water came out of his fingers. What a lame power, he thought. The next morning, Oleg went to lunch with Sasha at an expensive restaurant. Because Sasha had a condition that she'd only help rob the bank if Oleg made her dream of going on a romantic date come true. But then Oleg quickly saw the whole family watching them in secret. He was already super embarrassed about being on a date with a little kid. On top of that, Sveta disappeared and sat on the chair next to them and started flicking Oleg. She wanted to keep her little sister's romantic date within limits. Meanwhile, Oleg saw that Valera and his men were also at the restaurant. Valera recognized Oleg and came over to him. Oleg couldn't do anything out of fear, but then Sasha got up to save him and broke the thug's bones with her power. She also knocked out 2 of his men. Seeing everything, Oleg freaked out and ran away. Sveta ran after him too. Because of this, all of Sasha's power ran out, and the whole family rushed to the car so they could get out of there. Then the day of the bank robbery came. Everyone set up the car. Sveta took off her clothes, then disappeared and started walking toward the building with Oleg. Using her powers, Sveta crossed the security without anyone seeing her and started checking the bank's locker room password. Outside, Boris tried to park the car somewhere else, but a police car stopped him. The police said, "Clear the road quick." Talek thought if they moved away, Sveta's power would go away. Boris tried to stall for time and refused to move. The police angrily pushed him with force from their car and moved him away from the spot. Because of this, Pavel died again, and Sveta suddenly became visible. Everyone inside the bank was shocked. Oleg quickly ran outside and with the family pulled the old man near the building, which brought back Sveta's power. But the plan had failed. Just as they were about to leave, a police car stopped them from behind. They'd already warned Boris, so before the cop came, he teleported away so things wouldn't get worse. But he accidentally teleported inside the police car. "This is your car, man. It's nice," he said. After getting home, Boris said, "We only got away today because of Oleg." Angry, Oleg called everyone to the dining room and said no one would do any other work until the robbery was done. Rita said, "I still want to do the play," but everyone together shut her up. Upset by being humiliated, she ran to the bathroom crying. Oleg felt bad and decided they should just do her show. On the night of the show, Rita was super nervous. She accidentally turned the wrong way and started flying all over the building. Oleg and Sveta split up to try and catch Rita. But before they could find Rita, Valera showed up and punched Oleg in the face. After that, Oleg passed out right away. The head of the theater was super mad about his play being ruined. He said for revenge, "Punish Oleg in front of the public." He was thrown behind the stage curtain and beat up badly. A little while later, Oleg came out and met his family. Sveta saw her boyfriend like this and asked, "What happened to you?" "I'm done. I'm tired," Oleg said. "This family is just a bunch of stupid, mean people, nothing else." He angrily told everyone, "Even if you had all the power in the world, you'd still be stupid." He also said, "I'll pay off my debt alone," and then he left everyone there and took off. But Boris said, "No one leaves this family." He grabbed his son-in-law and took him to the bank by force. There, everyone put on their professional masks. Rita took a big chain and crossed the wall, and Sasha pushed a truck to block the alleyway. After this, Boris teleported inside, while Sveta jumped from above and reached the vault room. She used the password she'd seen yesterday and opened the vault. Outside, some old drunks saw him. When everyone else wasn't looking, Pavel drank some gasoline and lit a cigarette, which made smoke come out. Seeing this, the old guys were totally shaken up. At that moment, Rita took Sasha inside, and she threw the whole safe outside. They all filled the trunk of their car with the money, and Talek sent his dogs to stop the police. As soon as the robbery was over, the family ran away. Oleg threw some cash at the poor, and the police thought they were the thieves and arrested them. A few hours later, everyone went up to a high point in the city and started celebrating being millionaires. But the happiness didn't last long, because Pavel announced his final decision. He said goodbye to his family and chose a spot for his death. The whole family said goodbye to him with tears and left the place. While driving, Rita saw Grandpa fall. She said, "Dad, let's go back." But once again, Pavel was mad about being saved, and he told everyone, "Get out of here fast, all of you. Are you crazy? You guys are annoying me, man. Can't an old man even die in peace?" And he gave him the idea that they should buy a big house and all live together. But everyone said, "Let's split the cash, okay?" Everyone's got their own plans. Boris got sad thinking no one wanted to live with him. Then Pavel said, "Look, I called the police. If you guys don't get out of here fast, you're all going to be in trouble and end up in jail. Got it?" On the way, Sveta told Oleg, "I don't want to be with you anymore." She gave Oleg the money and told him to get out of the car. She was still super hurt by what Oleg had said the night before, and he was even going to leave her forever. Oleg angrily took his share and left. He used the cash to pay off Valera's debt and made peace with him. Then he planned on leaving the country. At the airport, Oleg saw on the news that Sveta and her family got caught because they went back to get Pavel's body. Seeing the whole family in a bad state, Oleg regretted leaving them. He decided he'd team up with Pavel to save him. The minute they walked into the court, everyone's powers came back. Pavel came back to life and started attacking everyone in a rage. Boris teleported to stop the guards. Sasha freed her siblings from jail, and everyone used their powers to totally mess up the police. Now the family was back together. But as soon as they went outside, the police surrounded them from every direction. Then Rita flew up to distract the guards. This let everyone get into a car, and Rita went with them too. The whole city police were after him now. One police car wouldn't let up. Annoyed by this, Boris teleported and made the police car crash. A little later, another car came from the side and Sasha pushed it hard. After that, the car flipped over. Now Oleg saw a bunch of cars in front of him. He tried to avoid an accident, but their car still hit a fruit stand. The windshield was covered in dirt. Oleg was happy that his power would finally come in handy. He sprayed water from his finger and cleaned the car window while driving on. But the police surrounded the family with a roadblock. Then Sasha grabbed a pole, turned the car around, and got everyone out of there. Then they tried to get through the streets. When they realized the police had them surrounded everywhere, Rita flew the car. The car started flying, and they escaped the police chasing them. After all this, Oleg met Valera again. He thanked him for his help because Valera had arranged to hide the whole family in his cargo ship and send them to China. After getting ready, the family closed themselves up in a big container that was placed among other containers on the ship. Now they all headed toward another country for a